So Rigetti stock has been on an absolute tear today, up 50%. Let's get into it. So guys, my name is Will Rich. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, make sure to. We are covering the quantum space and also space and tech. Portfolio's up about 31% today, and part of that is this Rigetti 52% increase. That's absolutely awesome. You could see the open day right there, 52%. That's awesome. So what we could see here is this reversal starting to happen. Now, there's two reasons that this is important and why we really want to pay attention at this critical moment. It just broke above the EMA. It's holding above the EMA, and we see it tapping on that SMA, that moving average. See that 200-day moving average. Now, if we drop it down a little bit more, so you can see a tighter knit look at that moving average, even more, let's see, you'll see it actually has been bouncing, and it oftentimes acts as a support, that green line. Now, it's got some ways to go before we see it break all the way above it. See, it's when it's above that blue line, that EMA, it's going to be a lot more bullish. And then when we look down here, if it's below, it's obviously bearish. See it holding above that blue line, now approaching that SMA. The MACD RSI looking a little bit overbought now on that shorter term. But hey, when we look at this stock and we see how much of a run it had last time, it had this kind of V-shaped pattern, that was like a 200 to 300% increase, right? We can map it out. I could take a look here from here to there. It's like a 240% increase. And so what we're saying here is not, hey, it's going to go up to 240% increase, but we do have to consider that there is tremendous upside, and this could have been an overreaction. Now, when it's at this point, what we might expect is a sell-off tomorrow, and we'll see what happens in the market live session. If you guys want to watch me trade live at Market Open, make sure to check out StockMate. It's that second link down below where you could surround yourself with traders and investors each and every day, and you can watch us at Market Open live. Now, when we look at this stock, there's three things we're going to be evaluating. The first thing is going to be the market. The second thing is going to be the analysis, and the third is the plan, the profit. What do we see, or risk? What does it look like? Now, the first thing with the market, we're seeing industry growth from expected from 2024 to 2032 from 1 billion to up to 12 or 13 billion. That's the estimates. When I went to CES and they were talking about the opportunity for quantum computing, they talked about it as more of $100 billion industry right now, and that it was going to be jumping into being a $1 to $3 trillion industry in the coming years. So they were more bullish. That was the companies directly. I got to speak with IONQ. I got to talk with Microsoft executive as well as IBM about their quantum computers. If you guys want to see that video, you can go check it out on my channel. I have it just last week. We flew out to CES last second. You guys were like, go do it. Let's make it happen. And I said, guys, we just hit 10,000 subscribers. This is a great time to start the year and get some solid info. There hasn't been any coverage on that quantum computing track that happened at CES, but luckily I got some great footage there and also got to ask some questions. Did you know there's a portion of that video that this is a kind of hidden piece of that video you might not realize, that they were answering questions directly from me standing right in front of us? Because what happened was I asked a question to the host. It's a little bit of like a tangent, but like I gotta tell you guys, it's so funny. I asked, and you can like skip ahead if you don't want to hear it, right? But I asked the guy that was putting on the quantum track at CES a question about what does global adoption look like, and what does it look like here for the future as far as people that are everyday people or small businesses actually adopting quantum computing. He gave an answer that was kind of, I guess, it was like a press answer or something that maybe didn't really answer it quite fully. It was like, oh, we'll have to see, or something like that. And so I was like, I got to ask, like, I got to probe a little bit. So, I asked again in a way that was a little more like, are there, what would we see that widespread adoption would be recognized as quantum computing is the thing that's powering the tech that the world is using right now? And what happened was one of the professors basically from one of the quantum computing companies stood up right in front of me, and I was in the front. There's like a big audience, and he's asking questions directly to the camera. I pull out my camera right away. I'm like, I gotta film this, and he starts talking about how, your iPhone that you have here. You guys see this iPhone? And he's like, if you would have asked somebody like 100 years ago that you have a bright light that shines as bright as this light, that you could touch it and not get burned, and they, if you would ask them if that was possible, they would think you're crazy. And then they also like did some other awesome things that I was like, man, I'm so glad I asked that question. We filmed it. If you want to see the video, they were very passionate. They were a little heated actually, because I think it was probably because of the Jensen comments, NVIDIA CEO saying that quantum computing was like 10 or 20 years away. Whereas these people get on stage from some of these companies, including companies that invest but are a part of Rigetti and IONQ and QUB, or it was Quantinium, and Microsoft and IBM, and they're saying we're doing it right now. Right now, quantum computing is here, and it's all around us. And that was really inspiring. And so, what I saw was a much more bullish sentiment. They seemed exciting about upcoming earnings. Anyway, that was something that I was seeing the sell off, and I'm saying, it makes sense to an extent, but at some point you have to ask yourself, like, when does it become more of an overreaction from the market, especially timed perfectly with the widespread market sell-off that we saw the past few days on all tech, including like Tesla. You saw it on Amazon and Google selling off the past few days. It just made sense. And so we're here. Rigetti up 52%. And not only is it up 52%, it's knocking on the door of this previous resistance or this previous support. And if it breaks above and pushes up above this moving average, we could really see it continue its upward direction. What we most likely will see will be an opportunity tomorrow at market open, but we got to see first the financials of the company. So we kind of went over the market, looks good. Technicals holding at this level. It's a previous support. It's also knocking there. The financials of Rigetti are something that people obviously are going to hold against Rigetti. And I've heard it. I see the comments from you guys. Some of you guys are saying it's buying what could be. I'm very excited about it. And then some of you guys are saying they're burning through cash, like, when you hand your 10-year-old a $20 bill or something like that. I don't even remember what the comment said. They were like something like that. Anyway, when we look at the net income, they're down. It's negative 14 million. But the interesting part is that they're up 33% year over year. And the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize about Rigetti is that they are invested in by, you got not just NVIDIA, but you got all of these companies like BlackRock and State Street, and the list goes on. You got Vanguard. It's not just that, and you don't have those companies investing unless they're investing for what could be. They don't just invest in a company with terrible financials and say, and I'm not saying, here's what I'm saying, and then you should go buy. I'm saying you don't need to. Everybody's bashing on quantum computing, including the CEO of NVIDIA, and it's like, but like, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do, type of deal, And I think when we look at the market growth, and then you look at some of the challenges, including those comments. There was even a comment by Mark Zuckerberg that he had some skepticism about the near-term practicality of quantum computing, suggesting that commercially viable quantum computers could be still years away. But again, I went to this, and I'm like, I didn't see that. That's not how they were speaking about it. That wasn't the examples they were giving. They were giving real-world applicable examples. And so there is obviously going to be volatility no matter what across the market. And of course, I'm not happy about seeing these negative financials, but the outlook is that it's a technologically driven company that's, if they achieve plugging into more businesses, while you want to be cautious, it has some speculative nature to it. There is absolutely going to be some potential if breakthroughs continue to happen. You know, they just launched, it was middle of last year in July, this 84 qubit quantum processor that's marking a significant milestone in the technological roadmap and for the company. And if you see these earnings, they don't look so good. And I don't like to see it, but I do see that they are continually innovating. The other thing that you could look at is Azure, Microsoft Azure. Microsoft just announced today that they were ramping up their quantum program. You can see it on there in the news about Microsoft, but you look on Azure, you can see Rigetti as a provider here, and they're giving $500 free for quantum credits if you want to run some data through these Rigetti computers. Not only that, you got it over on AWS, which I've actually most likely going to be tapping into as well soon, because I'm working on an app right now that utilizes millions of data points, and essentially for me to be able to take all the millions of real-time data points of the market and get good answers for predictive AI analysis on assets for the future, it's going to take some work. And so I have this, this is a mock-up, but I actually have it already going, where like you can click through, you can go to one day and it will tell you where it predicts a stock to go, future-based charting as opposed to past-based charting. And I plan to run it through a quantum computer. It's the same way that that they ran it through with the lithium-ion battery. Microsoft executive was talking about it. That wasn't Rigetti, actually. I believe that was a computer maybe at IBM, but they were running it through this quantum computer, 30 million data points on ion batteries, and they brought it down from 30 million data points down to 8 options for a more efficient battery. And they got the lithium ion battery's efficiency increased by 70% as a result of using the quantum computer. And so it's not, you know, it's not just sunshines and rainbows, or it's all what could be. I mean, we're seeing some real-time applicable stuff that's happening right now, and you guys will see a lot of articles here. So, you know, of course, there's skepticism. There will be a large amount of retail investors that are playing this in all skepticism, and there's going to be volatility. You saw a lot of enthusiasm for quantum computing, but then you saw a big sell-off in what could have been an overreaction. The financial performance is what could be, which kind of shakes people. And so you just got to think about that. I would encourage you, get more educated. Even if you're a day trader, figure out the real value of this company and why it could not just be this pump and dump, but why it actually makes sense. And you can see all the different components that make up their quantum computers and how they function down to the QPU. And then you can go on their web. They got a bunch of videos, even with Palantir. You could look in some like different workshops that were happening in I believe there's a Bay Area on their YouTube channel. So you can go check out their YouTube. I don't know if they have it listed on their site here. Yeah, you can see it right there. This is Rigetti's YouTube channel. If it will show it up, let's see. There it is. And it's not like perfect, you know, it's like they don't have the best like marketing for it, but it's definitely super educational. So if you want to learn about the tech, that's a great place to do it. So anyway, guys, with Rigetti, the thing we're looking at is if we see a sell-off at market open tomorrow morning. It's already starting to sell off a little bit here after pushing up 52%. And if that happens, that opportunity presents itself, we'll most likely be trading Rigetti tomorrow morning at market open. If you'd like to join me live there, I'd encourage you to check out that second link down below. We have a great sale for the new year for StockMate. I would love to see you guys there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button if I earned it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And do consider subscribing. Take care, guys.